Welcome back to BTV, Carbon Clumps. I'm Melvin from the glorious planet of Soralunia, your host for Brainiac's Trivia Vortex, the only show where ignorance is the prize. It's time once again to dial up some pop culture questions and see if those comatose cortexes have any compute power left in them. Let's get right to it, shall we? What 1977 film is often credited with launching the blockbuster era? Star Wars. What was the name of the viral dance craze that took over the internet in 2012, based on a song by Psy? Gangnam Style. Who created the comic strip Calvin and Hobbes? Bill Watterson. What was the name of the TV show about a meth-making high school teacher that concluded in 2013? Breaking Bad. Which pop star famously had a wardrobe malfunction during the 2004 Super Bowl halftime show? Janet Jackson. What is the longest river in the world? The Nile River. What was the name of the social media challenge that involved people pouring buckets of ice water over their heads to raise awareness for ALS? The Ice Bucket Challenge. What was the name of the popular sitcom about four older women living together in Miami? The Golden Girls. Which South Korean film made history by winning the Academy Award for Best Picture in 2020? Parasite. What was the name of the search engine that was founded in 1998 and would go on to dominate the internet? Google. Which Motown group had a string of hits including My Girl and Ain't Too Proud to Beg? The Temptations. What was the name of the talk show host who became a cultural phenomenon in the 1980s? Oprah Winfrey. Who directed the 1979 science fiction horror film Alien? Ridley Scott. Which film, released in 1997, became the highest-grossing film of all time until it was surpassed by Avatar? Titanic. What was the name of the Beatles' first album? Please Please Me. Who was the first host of Saturday Night Live when it premiered in 1975? George Carlin. What 1982 album by Michael Jackson became the best-selling album of all time? Thriller. Which girl group, known for their girl power mantra, became a global phenomenon in the 1990s? The Spice Girls. Which actress starred as Katniss Everdeen in the Hunger Games film series? Jennifer Lawrence. Who headlined the 2023 Super Bowl halftime show? Rihanna. Who hosted the Some Good News web series from his home during the pandemic? John Krasinski. What was the name of the popular TV show that featured a bar where everybody knows your name? Cheers.
You're about as useful as a screen door on a submarine.
Who developed the theory of relativity? Albert Einstein. Which film, based on a series of young adult novels, sparked a vampire craze in the late 2000s? Twilight. Who sang the iconic song Respect? Aretha Franklin. Which TV show set in New York City followed the lives of 6 friends? Friends.
Which artist's 2019 album, When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go, won the Grammy for Album of the Year?
Billie Eilish. What was the name of the first color television network in the United States? NBC. What was the name of the popular CB radio slang for yes or I understand? "10-4". Who directed the 1993 film Jurassic Park? Steven Spielberg. Which artist released the 2016 visual album Lemonade? Beyoncé. Who sang the 1971 hit American Pie? Don McLean. What was the name of the first commercially successful first-person shooter video game released in 1993? Doom. What was the name of the political scandal that led to the resignation of President Richard Nixon in 1974? Watergate. What was the name of the handheld digital pet that was a massive fad in the late 1990s? Tamagotchi. Who played the role of Jack Sparrow in the Pirates of the Caribbean film series? Johnny Depp. What was the name of the portable music player introduced by Apple in 2001? iPod. Which legendary boxer reclaimed the heavyweight title in the Rumble in the Jungle against George Foreman?
Muhammad Ali. Which actress won the Best Actress Oscar for her role in Mary Poppins? Julie Andrews. What was the name of the popular video game console introduced by Nintendo in 2006 that featured motion controls? Wii. What was the name of the iconic hairstyle popularized by Farrah Fawcett in the TV series Charlie's Angels? The Farrah Fawcett Flip. What was the name of the popular app that allowed users to create and share short looping videos? Vine. Which country artist had a massive crossover hit with the song Before He Cheats? Carrie Underwood. What was the name of the computer operating system launched by Microsoft in 1995 that featured a start button? Windows 95. Which sitcom starred Michael J. Fox as a young Republican with hippie parents? Family Ties. Which TV series, set in a luxurious Hawaiian resort, became a critically acclaimed hit for HBO? The White Lotus. What was the name of the fictional high school in the TV series Beverly Hills 90210? West Beverly Hills High School. What was the name of the first space shuttle to launch in 1981? Columbia. Which artist released the record-breaking album 21 in 2011? Adele. Who wrote the 1986 horror novel It? Stephen King. What was the name of the Netflix documentary series that focused on the life of exotic animal keeper Joe Exotic? Tiger King. What was the name of the dance style that became hugely popular in the 1970s, heavily influenced by the film Saturday Night Fever? Disco. What was the name of the tough-talking detective played by Clint Eastwood in the Dirty Harry films? Harry Callahan. What was the first names of the futuristic family in the cartoon series The Jetsons? George, Jane, Judy, and Elroy. What was the name of the dance move popularized by the song Macarena? The Macarena. Even my lava lamp could have nailed that one. Who starred as the iconic Holly Golightly in the 1961 film Breakfast at Tiffany's? Audrey Hepburn. Which Christopher Nolan film featured a dream-stealing heist? Inception. Which pop star embarked on the record-breaking The Eras Tour in 2023? Taylor Swift. What 1994 film starring Tom Hanks won the Academy Award for Best Picture? Forrest Gump. What was the name of the popular TV show that followed the lives of the eccentric Rose family who lose their fortune? Schitt's Creek. Which Alfred Hitchcock thriller, released in 1960, is famous for its shocking shower scene? Psycho. The fall of what famous wall in 1989 symbolized the end of the Cold War? The Berlin Wall. What is the name of the 2021 film that is a prequel to the Disney classic 101 Dalmatians? Cruella. What was the name of the popular video game that allowed players to live a simulated life? The Sims. Who became the first African-American president of the United States in 2009? Barack Obama. Who painted the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel? Michelangelo. What was the name of the popular sketch comedy show that launched the careers of Jim Carrey, the Wayans siblings, and Jennifer Lopez? In Living Color. What was the name of the sheep that was the first mammal to be successfully cloned? Dolly. Who is the founder of Amazon? Jeff Bezos. What was the name of the toy dolls that came with adoption papers? Cabbage Patch Kids. Who played the title role in the 1972 film The Godfather? Marlon Brando. What was the name of the animated film that won the first ever Academy Award for Best Animated Feature? Shrek. Who sang the 1966 hit, "These Boots Are Made for Walking"? Nancy Sinatra. What was the name of the popular TV series about a dysfunctional family of superheroes? The Umbrella Academy. Who wrote the classic novel 1984? George Orwell.
That's it for today's BTV quizzes. I hope your neurons got a workout and didn't pull a hamstring. If you enjoy being publicly humiliated by questions, go ahead and like, subscribe, and ding that little bell so we can do it again soon. I'll wait here, judging you silently, as I go through all your scores to determine whether your species is salvageable.
Be sure to comment how many you got right, unless you're afraid of being outscored by a Sorolunian houseplant. Farewell, my simple meat-based processors. Melvin, out! Need a break to reboot your tiny processor? Or are you brave enough to click into the next trivia trap? Go on, I dare you.